Alright, this next fight that we're going to be taking a look at is, I believe, going to take place primarily on the ground, or at least with some sort of grappling exchanges. We've got Mike Grundy versus Makwan Amirkhani. Mike Grundy coming from more of like a Greco-Roman wrestling sort of style background. Makwan Amirkhani coming from more of like a freestyle wrestling sort of background. Mike Grundy, quite a few wins by submission. Makwan Amirkhani also quite a few wins by submission, as you guys know by now. I just love pointing out his Tapology page. How did this photo even take place, man? That's funny. Unfortunately though, I have actually forgotten how many submission wins these guys each have. 11 for Makwan Amirkhani. Mike Grundy, I think it's like around 9. It's 8. Okay, I was very close to my memory there, but yeah, Mike Grundy, I'm gonna be trusting him to beat Makwan Amirkhani here. So in my opinion on this fight is I do think that Mike Grundy has a very slight striking sort of advantage in this one here. Both guys have the same reach, but Mike Grundy is a little bit shorter. And I also like Mike Grundy's wrestling style to tire out Makwan Amirkhani. We have seen Amirkhani kind of gas out towards the end of the second and the third round as well. So cardio kind of is a little bit of a problem to be looking at on the Amirkhani side. With that being said though, I think Mike Grundy is going to work him in the first and second round, and I think he's going to be looking for that submission or looking for a finish in the third round, or just riding out of a win. Makwan Amirkhani, he was a guy that a lot of people were looking at one point for whatever SPG Ireland. He was supposed to be SPG Ireland's next big guy. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work out for him. He's 1-4 in his last 5. I do think if he loses this one, the UFC is probably going to get rid of him. He's probably going to go to PFL. But yeah, his only win in the last like 2 years is over Danny Hendry. Apart from that, he's been losing. So it's a good competition nonetheless, but he's still been losing anyway. Mike Grundy, on the other hand, he's also on a 2-fight losing streak, but he does have split decision loss to Lando Venata and Movsar Evloev. You can't really laugh at those losses, really. Nadner Romani, he finished with punches, and prior to that he was fighting on the regional scene against good levels of competition as well. I'm going to trust in Mike Grundy to win this fight here. Makwan Amirkhani, I do think, has the better submission threat in the first and second round. I'm going to trust Mike Grundy to use his wrestling and potentially even his submission abilities himself in that third round. But I'm going to go Mike Grundy by decision on this one. So does the majority of people, but I do think that Amirkhani definitely does have at least a chance to lock up a submission in this one here. Going to be going with Mike Grundy to win the fight by decision though.